Windows 11 has some really great accessibility features baked right into the OS itself. In this video, I'm going to cover my top 10 accessibility features in Windows 11. Keep watching till the end. You never know, you might learn something that helps you out as well. Even if you don't think you need accessibility features in your operating system, they could be helpful to you at some point. There are different settings that you can change on your PC to personalize it in order to help you get the most out of your machine. If you've just been using your PC as it came straight out the box, then you might find some of these features actually help you use your PC in a better way. Alright guys, I'm over here on my desktop on my Windows 11 laptop, and what you might notice straight off the bat is that my pointer is a different color to the normal pointer. The normal pointer is white. So I'm just going to talk you through how to change this, because for me, I find it a lot easier to spot a pink pointer on the screen as opposed to a white one. So if you come down here into the start menu, search up settings on your computer and click on the settings app. From here, you can go into accessibility, scroll down here to mouse, and then under related settings, click on mouse pointer. From here, you can change a bunch of the mouse pointer settings. So this is the default one over here, is the white one, as you can see here, and oftentimes it's a lot smaller. It's probably like a size 1 pointer like this. So a lot of the times what I do is make it a custom pointer. I can give it a color. I can pick a custom color if I want to, and that is what I've got set here. And then I will just up this to about 3. And then I've got my pointer set perfectly. Whilst we're in here, just a couple other things to mention. One thing you can do is set a mouse indicator on here. What that means is that if you do lose the mouse on the screen, you can tap the control key on your keyboard and it will bring up these circle-like things to really hone in on the tip of the pointer there. So that can really help when you're trying to see where the pointer is. Oftentimes, if it's off to one side, I'll just kind of spam control like this and scan my eyes across the screen until I can see where the pointer is. The other thing you can do, which I don't personally use, is use mouse pointer trails. These help you keep track of where the pointer is. So when you enable that, you'll see that there are trails behind the pointer, and that can help with the additional motion can help you track the pointer across the screen. Personally, I leave this one off because I find it too distracting, but if you're somebody who really struggles to keep track of where the pointer is, then that might help you. And this can really be helpful for people with low vision, people who suffer with eye fatigue, or even if you have a large multi-monitor setup, like you've got 2, 3 monitors, something like that, then changing the pointer size, the color, and doing some of these other things can really help you be able to keep track of the pointer a lot easier. Next, we're going to be talking about display scaling. So if you head into settings, go over to system, then click on display. You'll have the couple of displays that you've got up here. If you're not sure which display is which of these boxes is which, you can click identify. It will give you a number down here in the bottom left. So number 2, that's my main monitor here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. You want to scroll down to scale and layout, and then under scale, you can change this so that it's 125%, which is a lot larger. Obviously 150 is getting quite massive now. So I'm just going to pop this back to 100%. What this does is it makes all the icons, the text, the interactions that you have to do on your PC, it makes them a lot larger, and you'll notice that the pointer size increased there as well. This is great, and it doesn't actually impact the display's resolution because that is set separately. So you can have a nice high quality display, something like a 1440p monitor like I've got here, as you can see, but the display scale can be set even higher. And obviously this is useful for people, again, with low vision. It can be helpful for when you've got large monitors which have a really high pixel count, things like 4K displays, you probably want to knock up the scaling a bit, because stuff's going to be really, really small on a 4K display, just because of, you know, where it's laid out on the screen. All right, so next up we've got the narrator. What this does is it will read out all the text on your screen for you. So if you come into accessibility and go into the narrator settings, you can turn the narrator on here. What it'll do when you turn it on is it will bring up a introduction to the narrator. So it will take you through step by step on how to use it, where to use it, and how you kind of operate things. Most of the time, if you are fully blind, or if you're really low vision, then you will most likely just be using your keyboard to navigate the computer. You don't have to use a mouse to navigate a computer. And that's where the narrator really helps, because you can move between items and it will read out what you are currently hovering over, and then you can make the right selections. And this will work across the whole computer. It works on loads and loads of websites, as long as they're properly set up for accessibility. Next on the list, we actually have voice typing or dictation. Now, this isn't something that you have to go and enable. It's actually just enabled by default, but a ton of people don't know about this in Windows, is that you can actually press the Windows key plus the H key on your keyboard, and it will start dictation. You can see that this just popped up at the bottom of my screen here. And what this will enable you to do essentially is, if you have something like, I've just got a basic text document up here, but you can do this into websites, into forms, into Google Docs. You can do it into Microsoft Word. You can do it to any application that you've got running on your PC. If you are in a text box and you hit the Windows key and the H key, it will bring up the dictation, and then it will just start dictating for you. So this is where you can just talk into the microphone of your laptop and it will type it out here. And there you go. I stopped for a second, it filled out the sentence, and it's all good to go. There are some settings available for this, of course. So if I just hit the microphone again to stop it, or you can hit Windows key and H again just to stop dictation, there's a little settings cog here. And you can get it to do things like automatic punctuation. It can filter profanity. You can set the default microphone, so where you want it to listen to you from. I've got an external microphone plugged in, which is why that one is selected. And then if you want it to go away, you just click the little X there and it's all gone. Now, if for some reason the voice typing doesn't quite work for you, it's not picking up your voice, or it's not, maybe it's not typing correctly, maybe it's not, hearing you properly, you can go into privacy and security, head down to speech, and you've got online speech recognition here. So be aware, when you're dictating with this mode turned on, it means that some of the speech that, if not all of the speech that you start talking into wherever you're trying to type will be sent off to Microsoft online speech recognition servers, which aid the speech recognition technology. It's just a little bit more advanced. It can pick up on terms that the local model might not have picked up on. If you're not a fan of your data being shared with Microsoft servers, you can of course turn this off. And of course, just to mention, this isn't just for people who have low vision. This is also for people who have things like RSI and hand pain, maybe muscular problems that prevent them from typing for long periods of time. You can just hit the keys on your keyboard, Windows key and H, and then just start talking into the microphone on your laptop, and it will type it out for you. Next up, we've got color filters. This is mainly for people who have color blindness, but it might suit some other people as well. So if you go into settings, accessibility, click on color filters, then turn this on, then you have a bunch of different color blindness conditions to select from here. So depending on what your condition is, there are color filters to suit you best. You can also go with grayscale, you can go inverted, So there's really a bunch of choices you can make there, which could help you if you've got one of these conditions. Next up, if you're sensitive to a lot of glare, if you're low vision, or even really if you're in an outdoor or bright environment where you can't really see your screen very well, there are contrast or high contrast themes available for you. Again, if you go into settings, accessibility, and click on contrast themes here, you'll see an example of what each theme will do to the look and feel of your computer. From the drop down here, you can select which one you want. So for example, I'm going to select night sky and click apply. Now that I'll apply this kind of very dark, very contrasty look to the computer. And if I want to, I can actually go in and edit the colors that are used in this setting and then save that as my own preset. So all of the buttons are going to look like this. If you select some text, it's going to look like this. So this can really be helpful for people with low vision where you need sort of like a high contrast thing, or even, like I said, if you're outdoors in bright light environments and you just need to be able to see things a little bit more clearly, then maybe consider setting up your own theme to help you be able to see things a lot easier on your screen. If you've ever been reading something quite small on the screen and you'd kind of wished that you've been able to zoom in on it, there is a feature in Windows called Magnifier. Again, in settings, accessibility, head into Magnifier, and there is a keyboard shortcut to be able to turn this one on, and off as well. So my personal preference is to set the view here to lens. Then what you can do is press the Windows key plus button on your keyboard. This will load up the magnifier, and then you get this lens around your cursor. So then wherever your cursor goes, it will magnify that, and it works across absolutely everything. Like you can see down here, I've got my sort of menu bar, and again, the mouse will work in this mode as well. So you can click anything here that you want to. If you want to exit out of it, just hit the Windows key and escape, or you can see down, if I just open this up again, down in the bottom sort of right area, we've got the magnifier window. If you just click the X button there, that'll make it go away as well. This can be really, really helpful for people with low vision. Maybe if you've got temporary visual difficulty as well, something's happened to your eyes, some trauma's happened to your eye perhaps, and you just need to be able to see things a bit more zoomed in, then this can definitely help you. Now we're on to some keyboard accessibility options. So in the accessibility settings here, if we scroll down a little bit, we get to the keyboard section here. Now, I don't know about you, but in school, I always used to trick my friends by turning on sticky keys on their laptop or their desktop PCs in the IT class. Now, I never even knew what sticky keys was at the time, but it turns out that it's actually for making it so that you can operate keyboard shortcuts without having to press the keys at the same time. So, for example, let's just go ahead and turn this on real quick. So, sticky keys. The keyboard shortcut that I did to turn on the dictation earlier was Windows key and H, and I had to hold down the Windows key whilst I pressed H, and then it brought it up. If you've got some kind of, like motor impairments, maybe, suffering with some coordination difficulties, something like that, then what you can do is turn on sticky keys, and then you just have to press the Windows key and the H button separately, and now you can see that came up just fine. And this will work with the magnifier as well, so Windows key and plus, and I pressed the Windows key, I let go of it, and then I pressed the plus key and I let go of it. So that could really help with somebody who has like difficulty moving their hands or stretching their fingers to reach certain key presses. At number 9, we've got live captions. So if you didn't know, on your Windows PC, you can have captions in any application. It doesn't have to be, captions in Zoom or captions in Teams or captions in YouTube. You could turn all of those off and just enable the captions here in Windows. To do that, go to accessibility, scroll down to under hearing, click on captions and enable live captions. Now, any audio that you're playing on the screen will be displayed on the screen for you. Of course, this could be very helpful for people who are deaf or hard of hearing. It could also be helpful for people who are in noisy environments, which might not be something that you've sort of considered. You can also, there is a shortcut, as you can see on the screen here, to turn this on. Control Windows key L to turn live captions on. And like I say, this works across the board. This will work in Zoom, it'll work in Teams, it'll work in YouTube, and it will just display all the captions for any of the audio that you are currently listening to. And last but certainly not least, we've got focus modes. So these can help prevent distractions when you're working on your computer, maybe you're at work or something like that. If you enable a focus mode, then you are immune from those distractions. Maybe this will help you if you've got something like ADHD or attention, some kind of attention deficit. If you struggle with sensory overload or anything like that, or even hearing impairments, to be honest. So in your settings app, head over to System, Focus, and then really you can configure the focus mode to do what you want it to do. So you set your session duration and you can set all these different kind of settings for it. The quick and easy way to turn this on is actually not within here, although you can start it within here. But if you go down to the clock in the bottom right corner of your screen, give that a click, you see a little focus button there. And if you give that a click, you have started a focus session. To turn it off, just go back onto the clock and hit end session. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this one. Make sure to leave a comment in the section below to let me know what accessibility features you find the most valuable and which ones do you use on a daily basis. Did you learn anything from this video, and will you now go ahead and turn on some of these features to help you get by day to day? Let me know in the comments section down below. Make sure to like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more like this, as I'm going to be covering some of the accessibility features in macOS next. So if you want to see that, make sure to subscribe to stay tuned. All right, guys, take care. Bye for now.